right, the visuals you can see on your screens, accessed right now by CNN News 18. These are the first visuals coming in from the NITI Aayog meeting. As you can see on your screens right now, chief ministers from several states, obviously Mamata Banerjee from West Bengal on your screens. That, I believe, was the Punjab chief minister. We'll obviously have a deeper look at the chief ministers in attendance. But remember, we know the names of those who are not in attendance today already. My colleague Nikhil is with us right now to bring us more details. Nikhil, our audience is sure to recognize most of the faces they can see on their screens right now. Walk us through the details of the visuals we can see.
So, as per the visuals which are being now played out on the screen of the CNN News 18, we can see many of the chief ministers are now seen to participate in the particular meeting. We already know that you have mentioned earlier that who are the chief ministers who have skipped the meeting, but as mentioned by me earlier as well, that the meeting has already started. So these are the visuals we are seeing from inside the Rashtrapati Bhawan Cultural Centre, where the meeting is being chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is also present there. The Chief Secretary is also present there. And also we can see many of the state CMs, including Hemant Biswa Sarma from Assam, Pramod Sawant is there from Goa, Bhupin Patel is sitting there. He's from the state of Gujarat. Manohar Lal Khattar we can see, and also Pinarayi Vijayan from Kerala. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Eknath Shinde. These are the people. In fact, Jagan Reddy is also seen from the opposition party. If we talk about from Aam Aadmi Party led state, Punjab, Bhagwat Mann can be seen, and from the Rajasthan state, Ashok Gehlot is seen.
Right. Nikhil, stay with us, please, because political editor Maria Shakil is also with us right now on the phone. I'm actually going to go over to her for more context. Maria, obviously, plenty of big faces there and some important faces missing. Could you give our audiences more information of the pictures we can see on our screens right now? All right, we'll try to reconnect with my colleague Maria. Let me also just check if Nikhil is still with us. Nikhil, are you able to hear me?
Audio.
All right, I think my colleague Maria is able to hear us now. Maria, I was asking you earlier, our audience can obviously see all the chief ministers on their screens right now, also two important faces missing. What more information can you tell us?
Yes, so the 7th Governing Council meeting is currently underway at the Rashtrapati Bhawan Cultural Centre in the national capital. This is the first in-person meeting which is happening since July 2019. And before this, there was an expanded, consultative process which was undertaken, which meant that the members of the NITI Aayog, particularly the vice chair, had traveled to various states to get on board their views as what should be the way forward in terms of the agenda. We did also see a national conference of chief secretaries, which was held in Dharamshala in June 2022, which is 2 months ago, which was the culmination of 6-month-long rigorous exercise between the centre and the state. The conference was chaired by the Prime Minister and attended by the chief ministers of all states and union territories along with senior officials. This is of course important because the emphasis certainly has been of greater cooperation between the centre and the state on multiple issues of convergence as well. Now we are seeing two chief ministers missing here. First, Telangana Chief Minister KCR. This is purely of domestic reasons and considerations, given the fact that, in the elections that will be taking place in a year from now, it will be the BJP versus TRS, which will be playing out in the state of Telangana. The BJP sees Telangana as its possible catchment area. They have won 4 MPs from the state in 2019. And that is the reason why there is this belligerence that has happened from KCR, who is taking on the centre, saying that the centre is compromising the principles of cooperative federalism. And he wrote an elaborate letter addressed to the Prime Minister, talking about how his how his suggestions and advices have not been incorporated in the agenda. There was a reply that came from NITI Aayog, which they dismissed all the allegations and said that every process has been undertaken and that suggestions of all the chief ministers have been included in the agenda. That is one chief minister who is missing today. But the other chief minister is an NDA partner. It's a BJP-JDU government in Bihar, and Nitish Kumar has chosen to skip the meeting. Though official statement is yet to come from the government of Bihar as to what really made him skip the meeting. But I think the primary focus certainly is, and if you look at the statement that was put out by NITI NITI Aayog that this is about, COVID-19 pandemic backdrop in the light of India hosting G20 summit next year. There are several challenges on multiple fronts. What should centre and state jointly do to ensure that the Aam Aadmi is provided with something?
Maria, thank you so much for bringing us those details. For our audiences, we're going to leave you with the visuals you can see on your screens. That is all that we have for you this morning.